Hey everyone, Lauren here, and I thought I'd start with this wood grain piece of paper and the cut apart that we got in the September kits. So this is a beautiful Cocoa Vanilla Daydream collection, and I'm just going to quickly cut up some of these pieces. There's some lovely sentiments on them, and I love this little rainbow one, and so I just thought I could give myself a little challenge of using just the two pieces of paper and see what could happen instead of doing mixed media like I normally tend to do a lot. So just going to layer them up here, and I think they look really nice like this, but look, there's not really any spot for a good photo. So then I try and work out another way. So you can see here, depending on which way, what design you're kind of looking for, there's a few different things you can do with the cut apart sheet, whether it's this one or a different cut apart sheet. Definitely have a look and put some things together. It's a nice way to use items up, especially if you don't do pocket page, project life kind of things. Sometimes if you're getting that in the kit, you might not be sure how to use a bulk of it. But there's definitely quite a few different ways that you can do it. And you can see this one's got all the border strips, some banners, some labels, and then the cards, which there's some 4x4 and there's some 3x4 and whatnot. So every cut apart's obviously very different. So fast forward, I have decided on some photos, just some random photos of my children. We were in the shops and Toys R Us were closing. At the time I was doing family daycare, and these little cozy cars were heavily reduced because they were display models, which was also a really huge bonus because I didn't have to build them. So the boys got to happily push them around and enjoy themselves in the shops, riding in the cars and pushing them, and just in general having fun on the way to the car. So just mounting my photos on some white cardstock, and because I don't ever really cut it with what's it called? Like a guillotine, but not a I do have a small guillotine, like a trimmer. They're not all straight. Probably if I did cut them with a trimmer, I probably still wouldn't get them that straight. I don't ever take the time to do it carefully and therefore get it right. So anyway, as I was laying it down like this, I realized it'd be cool to have a little section in the middle and then have my title. I went to get the thickers that we got in our kit, and then seen that we got this little pack of words, and instead I'm going to use these to spell out our title. And I'm just checking what could fit in there nicely and fit in with the theme of it, and I decide on Our Good Times, just because it's going to work, and I like the fact that it'll be three along, kind of ties in with the blockiness of the cut apart. So it's sort of like a grid layout, and I'm only saying grid layout just because it's a bit square and whatnot. It's not repeating grid because it's not all the same and things are different and whatnot, but it's just like grid inspired cut apart challenge, just fun basically. Anyway, so I'm having a play now. I took away a photo. It wasn't anything happening in that photo, and once I matted it with the white cardstock, it was too wide for the top layer, so instead pulled that off, and then I'm going to add this word here from the cut aparts. So these are the die cuts ephemera that we got in the Cocoa Vanilla kit. Well, the collection has these, and they also have, so some of them are cut out and some are just like this where you can press them out, which is a little bit different, but it's actually really fun to easily see what you've got there without rifling through a big pile of ephemera. So just pulled out that row of rainbows just because it's cute and it's a nice little size that will fit in to that. And then, like I was saying before, I'm not very good at cutting, so I go back, and because I realize this one is badly cut photo and therefore the white around it is shocking. So come back, fix that all up, sticking down my title, and then I'm going to start sticking down the grid. Now, again, this is probably why I don't use like grid inspired layouts, and why I sort of go a bit loose with it when I do, because I really just don't spend the time and have the patience to line everything up. So now I've lined my title up there, and I'm gluing down my cards, and I just stick it down and eyeball it. But admittedly, it's late at night. Well, not late, but it's night time, and I'm not really using a ruler until now. So then I get my ruler out. My T-square is out in the lounge room, actually out in the kitchen, too far away in the house where I'm by myself. And then I get a little bit better, but I'm still certain that it's not straight. But anyway, I'm going to go with it because we're going to add some embellishments now, and adding the embellishments on some of the edges softens the grid of it so that it's not so straight lined and whatnot. So if there is any issues, hopefully it's not bothering anyone who does like perfection with their lines in this kind of situation. Anyway, I cut that blue flower in half just so I could layer it under, but also use the other half of it and not waste it. Added in a sticker banner and then some hearts. I love this sun that says "You are sunshine," and I layer it up there for a fair bit. I do end up moving it a little bit later and trying to work out where it will go, but spoiler alert, it doesn't stay on there. Nice little floral cluster down here. And I'm going to add some of these word strips. Cocoa Vanilla sticker sheets. Actually, some sticker sheets have the word stickers like this down the bottom, which is actually really good. So there's that other half of the blue flower. Makes it complete. Just gluing down the corners because I've just used double-sided tape, but because I pulled them up, the edges are a little bit bent. So having a little play, trying to work out where else I want to put some things. Don't want to overwhelm everything, cover up writing and everything so that you can't even tell what was there to begin with. But I do want to add some fun embellishments and design and flair to the page. So another flower cluster down the bottom here. And because there's a grid, I don't have to stick, well, not that you have to stick to any rule either, but I'm not going to stick to the triangle 3 clusters rule of design, which often looks really good, so it's nice when that works. But because there's so much going on with the grid in terms of different sections, I feel like I'd be a little bit more generous and add a cluster up there. So I've had that rainbow sticker, trying to get that flower on there. Isn't that funny sometimes? And I notice it a lot when I'm editing videos. I'm like, whoa, give it up, Lauren. It's not going to go on the page. You've tried everywhere. You really didn't need to try everywhere. You could see that it's not going to work. Just give it up. Anyway, I love these fabric hearts, and I think I've put it on nearly every page that I've made so far. So I've stapled one on here, just rounds out that cluster there, and especially after I add some word stickers. I take off that "You Are Sunshine" sticker. Just didn't like it overlapping the cluster up there. And that's going to be that for word stickers. Now I'm going to add a few little more things, but not obviously heaps. I'm just looking for some enamel dots from my stash. No, I'm not. I've gone to get the cut apart so I can add a label. But I do go and pull some enamel dots from my stash. I've just got all my enamel dots in a Ferrero Rocher box, like plastic container, and separated. And then I just find one that's got some love hearts and some stars and some enamel dots, like circles, dots, so that I could match up the colours. Adding in that label, I'm just going to add a quick bit of journaling, nothing phenomenal, sorry about my big headshot, and that's terrible because my hair at the end of the day is crazy. Just some quick journaling about the fact that we brought them and that they were having fun driving around. At night, it's late night shopping on a Friday night, so the photos aren't that great of quality. And here's my enamel dots. Love some enamel dots, and I'm really enjoying using up the enamel dots from my stash. Something that sometimes, you know, you go on a little bit of a binge with enamel dots and then you forget them. Or you get some new ones and, you know, use them for a while, and then you've got, well, for me anyway, I've got a whole pile of enamel dots that potentially, hopefully anyway, I guess that's the whole point of having a stash of them, hopefully I could match any layout that I needed to in terms of colour. So just pulling it up to check and see how I'm liking it. Again, the title apparently is not in the right section for myself. It's probably barely any change that anyone could see except for myself at the time. But anyway, ta-da! Here is the end picture. Hopefully you've been inspired to create, and I will get to go create some more. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.